Hey guys, I just want to give you a quick presentation myself of something that nobody else got to cover off, and I think it's important, and that's about music libraries. I'll try and make this quick here. Years back, I checked out this thing called Taxi. I think they call themselves the largest A&R artist and repertoire company in the world. Might be true, I don't know. But they were really helpful in getting me into the music libraries. So let me explain a little bit here. So Taxi, it's kind of expensive, but you're buying your way in a little in some ways. So you have two tiers of membership. The first membership is sort of like weekly listings, I think it was, and that's probably a couple of hundred a year. But if you want the next level up, you're getting listings almost every day, I think, and that was when I signed up, probably 300. It's probably more now a year. So you have a annual membership, one tier or the other. One's more expensive than the other, and then every time you submit to a listing, that's $5, or maybe more now. I'm not sure. Um, but anyway, the way it works is there's a million listings, and they're looking for stuff all the time. So it's kind of cool, and they're always looking for like straight ahead stuff and really weird stuff too. Like you'll find odd mashups of things that just might be perfect, like eerie something or other ambient thing with rock drums, or like all sorts of crazy stuff. Polka meets metal, whatever. So it's kind of fun to look through, and it's certainly great for two things. For me personally, it was like I had a bunch of like cues that I'd written for theater and a few films and stuff that were just sitting on my computer doing nothing, and they were able to use them. So that's great. And then songs as well. And so when you submit songs too, it's really good to have alternative mixes with no vocals, for instance, no drums or just acoustics, whatever, so they can use them in a variety of ways. So that's part of the gig now is when you're submitting to music libraries, make sure you have alternative mixes. In fact, they will absolutely ask for it. So anyway, so Taxi, you get all these listings showing up and you go, hey, I think I have something that would be great for this one. You submit it, and then you may or may not be selected. And if you're selected, your song gets forwarded to whomever, like if it's for a TV show or for an advertisement or something, right? So somebody at Taxi thinks this is going to work. They send it along, and you get told that you've been forwarded. And then from there, if you're lucky enough to land it, then great. And so what happens is, let's say you've written a song called, I Love You. They will take I Love You and they'll retitle it. So it now becomes something like I Really Love You or whatever. And the reason they do that is so that when it shows up at SOCAN, for instance, it's easy to differentiate between your original version, I Love You, and their new retitled version, I Really Love You. So every time I Really Love You gets placed and then played, like if it's on a TV show, for instance, and it gets aired, then you're going to get some performance royalties through SOCAN. That's how they can flag that it's not the original version, the I Love You version, it's the I Really Love You version. And so what happens is that the music library people get paid for placing your song, which is what a publisher does anyway, right? So they're acting as your publisher, and you're not signing away a million things. Like you're not losing your song forever. In fact, you're able to use usually your song with even other competitors. Other music libraries. So you can take I Love You and shop it around to a whole bunch of different libraries where you can't do that with a traditional publishing deal. So that's kind of cool. So they will rename it usually, and it might show up in different places. And every time they play something, they get paid. But otherwise, you're still free to do whatever you want with your original song. So that's pretty cool. So Taxi was good. I was able to land a number of things, and then I found that it was just easier. In fact, the libraries themselves, the music libraries, so the clients now, um, they don't really want to go through Taxi. They just sort of do it as a way to find new writers, I think. Anyway, so then you build your relationship with the individual companies, and I'll show you a few of the ones that I've been working with over the years. Here is Triple Scoop. So these guys have been good to work with, and they've placed a fair number of things for me, and so I don't have to go through the taxis anymore. I don't have to pay to submit, and they have an easy process now for me to submit if I have new stuff. Now, I think most of these music libraries now allow writers to just submit directly. So you may not even have to go through Taxi for a lot of these people now. Whereas when I first started doing this, you had to. Um, so I would check out how it works. Yeah. Anyway, I won't waste your time doing this right now, but take a look around, and you might be able to actually submit directly to their website. Um, Here's another one. There we go. Crucial Music. Um, Music Supervisors. Um, cool. So you're heading up music here. So for artists, high profile placements, etc. Retain your rights. This is cool. Retain your rights through artist friendly licensing. So it's non exclusive. That means you're free to do other non exclusive deals. You can even place your songs with our direct competitors. That's pretty great. We know what matters to most of you. Blah blah blah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, they will get your stuff into the hands of music directors, and same thing. What's kind of fun is like I never know when things are getting placed, and then I see it months later in SoCan, and I see that I've been placed in some pretty goofy shows like Honey Boo Boo, but some other ones that I've actually watched, didn't know I was in them, but whatever. Um, and some of them are like not much money, and some of them are pretty good. So you never quite know, but it all adds up. And here's another one. Here's Scorekeepers. And they have Connect. Yeah, I think so. You can probably submit stuff to them directly. Anyway, and oh yeah, and here's another option for original scoring. This is something they approached me to do actually, um, and I decided not to. If I recall, they wanted to not give you full royalties like in perpetuity kind of thing. You get the one is a one time only kind of thing, and I don't like that because then they're getting the full 100% royalty every time they get to use that music again, or if the show uh, gets syndicated or whatever, right? So it doesn't sit well with me. Now, other people might feel, hey, what the hell? I'm just getting started. This is great. I don't care. I'll do it. But just look at it and, maybe talk to a lawyer or something if you start doing that. But I decided not to. Anyway, so that's music libraries, and they can be a really great place for indie artists to place things. And if you have stuff that you've written, like especially compositional stuff, they're always looking for that kind of stuff that is ambient in nature, or soundscapey underscoring. So really, a lot of your stuff could find a home with these music libraries. So I really recommend you check them out. Happy hunting, and hey, everybody, hope you're well. Bye.